Have you ever woken up from a dream, heart pounding, sweat on your brow, because you just dreamed of a giant, colossal wave? A tsunami? It feels like so much more than just a random dream, doesn't it? Well, if that's you, you're not alone, and we're about to dive into what it might really mean. So, what's the deal? Was it just a random nightmare? Maybe from something you ate? Or could it be something more? In Islamic dream interpretation, these kinds of powerful dreams are rarely seen as random. They're often viewed as profound spiritual signals. So, what message is a dream like this trying to send you? All right, let's get right into it. First and foremost, in Islamic tradition, seeing a tsunami in your dream is a warning. It's a big, flashing sign from the universe that you need to pay attention to, a signal that something really significant is going on in your spiritual or your day-to-day life. I mean, just think about a tsunami itself. It's this immense, uncontrollable force. So it makes sense that in a dream it represents something similar. We're talking about a major test of your faith, a heads up about some overwhelming troubles, or maybe it's just reflecting your own deep down fears about some massive life change. It's a really powerful and serious symbol. Okay, but here's where it gets super interesting. To really get the message, you've got to look at the details. The meaning can completely flip depending on what actually happens in the dream. The context is everything. So let's break down a few different scenarios and see how they change the whole interpretation. So check this out. The biggest question is, did you survive the wave? If you escaped it, that could be a really positive sign. It might mean you have divine protection, that your faith and your good deeds are literally acting like a shield. But if you were overwhelmed by the wave, if you didn't make it, that dream is a huge wake-up call. It's a powerful nudge to turn away from sin and seek repentance. And the details get even more personal. What were you doing in the dream? Were you saving other people? That could point to your own strength and faith, your role as a guide or protector for your family. On the flip side, if you saw your home get destroyed, well, that could be a symbol for threats to your family, your finances, or just the peace in your household, often tied to some kind of spiritual neglect. And there are other little clues to look out for, too. Seeing a boat in the middle of all that chaos, that's a great sign of hope, like your faith is keeping you afloat. But if the water was black, that's a serious warning about sin. A tsunami happening at night might point to hidden dangers, while a wave that gets close but never actually hits you, that's like a final chance to prepare yourself for challenges that are just over the horizon. These dreams aren't always about predicting the future or warning you about what's to come. Sometimes they're really just holding up a mirror to our inner world. It's less about what might happen out there and more about what's already happening in here. And I just love this quote from the scholar Imam Sadiq. He brings in this beautiful layer of hope. He says that seeing a calm sea after the tsunami symbolizes peace and the end of all that chaos. So the dream isn't just about the scary wave, it's also about the peace that can come after the storm. So when you think about it, that giant, terrifying wave might actually just be a symbol for your own overwhelming feelings. Intense anxiety, fears you haven't dealt with, or maybe situations in your life that feel totally out of your control. The dream is basically showing you what you need to confront inside yourself before you can find that calm sea. Okay, so if this dream is a message, a kind of spiritual memo, what is it asking you to do? How do you take all this interpretation and actually turn it into something meaningful in your life? Well, it really seems to boil down to these three powerful steps. First, you gotta reflect. Take a hard look at the emotional storms that might be raging inside you. Second, prepare. Be ready for whatever changes or challenges might be coming your way. And third, and this is probably the most important, use this as a call to action, to strengthen your faith, build your resilience, and deepen that spiritual connection. So in the end, whether it's a sign of protection, a call to repentance, or a mirror to your own soul, the message has been delivered. The only question left is, are you ready to listen?